Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you're watching this. It is Friday. You know what that means. 1984 V65 Honda Sabre on the road to work, commuting at your leisure. Guys, this bike can get up and go at any moment. We had to skip a bridge. They're doing work on a bridge, so I had to skip over that area of the road. This bike, not a quick shifter. You got to get used to the older bikes. I haven't ridden this one in a while, but you have to deliberately make a shift. And I have these sneakers on that aren't great for riding, but you know, that's what happens. When you're commuting on a bike, you dress for the ride, not the slide. That's not true. That's not what you should do. You should always dress for the ride and the slide. But anyway, today I have speedometer, and that's good to know how fast you're going. But I want to talk this morning about being prepared and thinking ahead. I think I learned my driving style from my dad, who's a truck driver, 18-wheeler. So I always look ahead. I always plan my exit routes, and I don't tailgate. Ah, she wakes you up. We're just gonna have too many cars on the road. Ah, get your heart pumping, man. So yeah, I always slowly come up. You know, if you have a red light, I'd rather not stop and sit. I'd rather slowly drive up to it, so that I don't even have to stop fully if I don't have to. And it correlates a lot to motorcycling, because who wants to put their foot down at a red light? That's annoying. I always just prefer to slowly come up to the red light and then keep moving as we go. So when you're riding a bike, and I'm talking about the 84 Honda Sabre, the brakes on this are 1984 quality. I could probably put on some new lines. Maybe that would make them better. But you can't really upgrade the calipers. I'm sure you can. Oh, see, you really just shift into gear. But they're two piston. See, I told you. I'm planning ahead because I see this truck up ahead and I started using the brakes. Two piston calipers. There's two of them on the front, one on the rear. And as I said, you got to plan ahead. Know that you're going to be slowing down. It'll slow you down, but not as quick as some of these newer bikes with ABS and traction control and all the stuff. I mean, these, woo, that was a slick spot in the road that I just decided to try to turn on. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just having fun this morning. I'm not being very clear in my talkings. It looks like we're going to be slow. So now I can just think and not worry about my riding, which is coming natural to me after riding since 2000. I got my first bike when I was 25 years ago. 25 years ago. We should buy that. Alright, yeah, so Planning ahead. Let me talk about that. You're gonna plan ahead on a motorcycle. You gotta plan ahead how much front brake, how much rear brake you're gonna grab. Oh, I never finished saying my thought about these brakes. 2 discs on the front, 1 on either side of the wheel, rear disc on the back. Yes, this is a Honda and it doesn't have a drum on the rear. It has a disc brake. 1984, this was top of the line, I think, for Honda. I say I think because I still haven't quite figured out what the V65 Sabre was to Honda. You had the Magna, the cruiser, and you had the Shadows. This, I would say, was a sport touring motorcycle. Yeah, 121 horsepower, but a large gas tank. I think I said it's 4.5 gallons, which I'm getting low on. But the fact that you have a gas gauge and your temperature gauge and your gear selector position and a clock, I think this was meant to do everything. This was meant, and it's a big, large, smooth shaft drive motorcycle. Pretty much bulletproof. We'll shift up to 5th gear here since we're just cruising along. If you didn't wreck it and drag this gauge, I would still have a speedometer gauge, which I'm kind of getting used to, but I'm kind of getting annoyed by. I like to know how fast I'm going, and I'd like to know how many miles I'm putting on my bike, and that's all busted in there. I replaced the sensor on the wheel. That wasn't broken, so pretty much it's just in this gauge, I think. So I have a new set, but as you can see, these are kind of faded. I got to clean them up. Might be able to fix it a little bit. That one's even worse that I got, but I do have a parts bike, which is probably in better shape than this one, but we shall see. But yes, when you're on a motorcycle, you need to be cautious and concerned about everything, even behind you. I'm always glancing to see if I need to dive out of the way. There's been times when I heard screeching behind me, tires, and never a good sign. Now that guy missed me, luckily. That was on a video, and luckily that wasn't the last time you saw me. You have to prepare ahead. Which foot are you going to put down if you have to stop? Left, right, both? This bike without the, what is this, a Corbin seat, would be too tall for me, so I would have to choose left or right foot. In this case, I can flat foot on both sides, especially with a passenger. That brings it down a little bit, and I'm able to flat foot on both sides easily. But you're always prepared on a motorcycle. You can cruise around and everything. These grips are sticky and gross. I should replace them. But as long as I'm wearing my gloves, it's not that big a deal. But I kind of stick to them. This bike, unfortunately, I've had it sitting outside for a long time. It's not usually being worked on, so it's reliable. So it sits outside. Finally, I did oil change, I did rear differential change, and checked the tires, got new nozzles put on because they were rotting away. Oh, kitty! That poor kitty died in the road. Hate to see that, but it happens in Lancaster with all the farms. But this bike got a full service. I don't usually flush coolant. Change coolant sometimes if I'm working on it. This one did have that done. I had to put in new coolant because I wrecked it and busted one of the coolant lines. Luckily, that's all it was. I had coolant all over my leg that night. But, you know, it happens. It really does. I've said it before, I had a little bit of coffee this morning. A couple sips. But just getting out and riding wakes you up way better. Riding tired is not a smart idea either. Riding tired, you're not thinking ahead, you're not planning ahead, you're probably making bad shifts, you're probably not braking correctly, so any type of altering of your mind is not a good idea on a motorcycle. Guys, I want you to be safe out there. Oh man, more farm work going on. Ah. Here we go. But yeah, just to talk about the 84 Honda Sabre, it was really the cream of the crop. All right, good. Now we can move a little bit faster. But this bike is so fun, and you need to find a bike that's right for you. I've been on a lot of different motorcycles. This is a V4, like I said, 121 horsepower. Woohoo! Love this look when you get down over here. It's hazy today. It's gonna be sticky day. But 121 horsepower, smooth Honda engine. It's 1100 V65 Sabre. I keep saying it. Get it in your head, guys. This is just, you hear it. It's got a low grunt. It used to have a little bit of an exhaust leak, but when I was in there working on the brakes and the caliper and taking off the wheel and everything, I noticed where the leak was. So I finally fixed it right and filled it. And now she's doesn't have as much after, I want to say backfire, but it's more than, yeah, it's an afterfire. It was getting air into the exhaust before the muffler and popping out there. But now she's quiet, she's smooth, she's happy, and we're just cruising along because that's all we have to do today. Come on, truck. Can I hope for you to turn off? Then I can take off. Please. Are you turning? Are you turning? No, you're not turning. Yes, you're turning. All right, now we got a Subaru to deal with. Let's downshift to third. Again, planning ahead for the ride and the road ahead. Lots of trucks out here. Like right now, I can't. Right there, I wanted to stand up a little bit because this seat has no cushion. Planning ahead when you see something in the road. Fresh oil and chips. Oh no, that's not fun. When did that happen? Oh, I don't know how fresh it is. Alright, well, see, planned ahead, knew what we were dealing with. Well, I'm sorry guys, this isn't too exciting on the ride, but at least we get to converse. Alright, since we don't have a speedometer, I kind of watched this and I thought fourth gear, third gear pretty much lines up with the tack. So when I'm in third and I'm doing 3.5, it's usually at 35. Fourth gear, it looks like we're about adding 10 miles per hour. Nah, not really. Maybe 5. Yeah, I'm at 40, no, 10. About 10. Okay, good to know. Fresh chips. Chips, guys. It's all about the fresh chips. At least my Subaru friend goes a little faster. Doing 60. It does kind of feel, the road surface is weird. Anyway, delightful ride to work, guys. Get out and commute on your bike. This doesn't have the best ergonomics. Like the steering could be better. It gets a little loosey-goosey. If you're pushing it hard, but give it a little counter steer and you'll be fine. Oh, no, now I'm a little nervous. I feel like something's off. We're fine. But yeah, I don't know, this is an 84 and it could have things that need repaired. I have wrecked it twice, so there could be some loosey-goosey stuff, especially in the front. But she feels good now. But yeah, I don't often take my hands off the handlebars because it does shake a little bit. So as long as you have your hands on there, she's solid and she's good. If you have one of these bikes, you probably notice I don't have the same handlebars on here as you might. These are not stock. Mine got bent a little bit, and I found a set of V45 handlebars to put on here, and they actually are I like the spot. They're a little bit lower, and I enjoy these handlebars on this bike quite a bit. Now we're moving along a little bit better. So anyway, guys, I think that's it for the day. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my ride, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Sorry. There we go. A little bit of air on that hill. I'm not dumb, but I have fun. That should be my new motto. I'm not dumb, but we have fun. I'll see you in the next one. Get out and ride.